Happy Sunday, everybody. I hope everyone is doing well and having a wonderful day. Let me find my talking points so I can have that up. Let's find it. Got this song stuck in my head. Trying to think what's the name of the song. I need to look it up. Let me look it up. Let me see. Here it is. Lose Control by Teddy Swims. That is a good song. Every time I hear it, I'm just singing it. Oh, I just found the lyrics. Now, when I get off of here, I'm about to be singing a song with the lyrics loud as heck, and everybody in the house is gonna be like, "Girl, shut up." But I hope you guys are having a wonderful evening, and I hope that your day was wonderful. I cleaned today, so I mean that's always a good thing to have a clean house. But when you gotta clean it, it's like I was sweating like a dog. But I got the house clean the way I wanted it to. I would love for it to have a deep clean though, but that's for another story. A story for another time. So I am going to go ahead and get started. So my name is Burjo, and I am the owner of Bailey's Notary Services as well as the Notary Education Group. Every Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I come live to talk to you guys about business and notary related topics and share some tips with you and then answer your questions in real time. All right. If you are watching me for the first time, welcome. Don't forget to click that subscribe bell so that when I do go live, you will be notified. All right. And if you find anything that I share here, please share it. All right. Please like and share the video so that other notaries can get the same benefits as you. All right. So today we're going to be talking about is your notary business efficient? Okay. And what exactly does that mean? Hi, Patty Jr. All right. Welcome from Texas. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. All right, guys. So let me go to my talking topics. All right. So, what does it mean for your business to be efficient? All right. So, um, your when we talk about your business being efficient, we talk about you maximizing productivity, you reducing the amount of time it takes you to do certain tasks. So, like taking appointments, marketing, managing your mileage, um, your fee schedule, all of those things is what I talk about this all the time. You guys need to have this together, okay? We should not be operating a business and not have these things in place, okay? This all comes along with you having a business, and you want your business to run like a fine, like a what is the term, or what is the saying? Like a fine oil machine. Is that how you say it? So basically, I'm just going to go over you guys with the different things that you can do to make sure your business is running efficiently. Okay, because we want our businesses to run without us having to do so much to get it there. Because what happens when you get sick? What happens when you are so busy you can't do the other things? You need to have these things already in place. Okay, so first thing I want to talk about is making sure you're not missing calls and missing appointments, okay? Because this can happen. Things happen throughout the day. Maybe you don't have service, you don't have a good signal. Maybe you're already with a customer, and you don't want your customer's only way to get an appointment with you is to get a call. Because if you can't answer the phone, they're just going to go to the next notary. So we want to make sure that we have some type of calendar system in place. And you can do free or you can do paid. Doesn't matter. I use Zoho One. Everybody knows that. Hi, good vibes only. Good evening. And with Zoho One, I can share my calendar. Hi, Denise. Welcome. Good evening. I can share my calendar as a link and post that link as a button on my website. Or I also have a booking app that's also with Zoho One that I can go in there, put my time availability, block out time when I'm not available, and it makes a nice little sleek booking page to where they can click for what type of service they want, the time, the day, and then give me the details of what the services are going to include, right? So I have those two. Okay, one, they're both easy to use, but I have them available because what happens is, like I said, I'll be with a customer and my phone is ringing off the hook. I can't answer the phone when I'm with a customer, but I do answer the phone and I'll just excuse myself, especially if I'm with a company. I mean, doing a signing for a company and they're calling me, like my attorneys or my title services. They're calling because maybe something changed last minute, or, maybe they had a question or whatever. So I got to make sure that I have my phone on me. But what I don't like is when I have a customer call, I answer the phone because I don't want to miss the call. And I'll tell them, hey, I'm with a customer right now. Can I please give you a call back? And they'll say something like, well, real quick, I just wanted to know if I can make an appointment with you on this day. What times do you have available? I don't know. I don't know my schedule right off the top of my head, but what you can do is you can go to my website and you can click on the book now button and it will take you to my calendar so that you will be able to see my time of availability, my time of availability, and then you can book me right there. And then they'll say, okay, and then we'll disconnect the call. And then a few minutes after, I'll get a notification saying you got a new appointment. Okay. So you want to make sure that you have that available. You don't want to tell them, you know what, I don't know, let me call you back. Because it's just easier for them to call another notary. You know what I'm saying? It's different if it's your direct client. Okay. My direct client, they have their own booking link, so they don't really have to call me. All they have to do is use my booking link. They go in there, they see my calendar. Now, I share my calendar with them, but I don't share the details. And I'll show you guys what that looks like. Let me share my screen. So when you use, and I showed you guys this on one of the free courses that I offer on my Academy website. I think it's Small Business Essentials or the Essentials of Starting a Business or something along the lines of that. I think that's the name of the course. And in that course, I share with you a video when I'm sorry, hold on. I share with you how to use Google Calendar to create a booking link so that your customers can click and add themselves to your calendar. So for those of you who are using that free Google Calendar, you can do that too. You don't, like I said, you don't have to pay to, hi Michael, good evening. You do not have to pay to get bookings because I know some people they use Calendly. You don't really have to use that. If you want to, that's fine. But Google Calendar works just fine. It adds them to your calendar, and then you get a notification saying you got an appointment. And what you can do is you can send them a notification saying, "Hey, appointment received. Make sure you got XYZ." But I'm going to show you guys the two options I have on my website. So let me go to my website first. When I tell you guys that this makes life so much easier for me, because if you've been following me for a while, I went full time in my notary business in December of 23. Okay. So it's been a year. It's been a little over a year. Yay, me. But because I was able to work my business full time, my clientele increased. And because my clientele increased, that means I'm busier. And so I would miss a lot of work if I did not have these processes in place. So this is what I'm telling you guys. It makes life so much easier when you have these type of things so that you don't always have to do it manually. You want things to be automated. All right, so this is my website here. I have a book now page, okay? And when you go to book now, this is for my customers only. This is not for my business clients. I have two different booking pages for them. Now, here, this is for customers. The customers can click what service they want, okay? They can pick a date. It shows my date of availability. It shows that I'm closed on Saturday, so it's grayed out. Can't book me on Saturday. Okay, so let's say they want to book me Tuesday. Okay, it shows all of the times I have available for Tuesday. Okay, so they can book me at one of those times. I'll just pick this one and then click book appointment. And this is where I get the details. Okay, so you're booking an appointment with me for mobile services. I need your name, your email, your phone number. I need to know, what am I notarizing? Okay, how many signers are there? How many witnesses do I need? These are questions that I ask if they were to call me on the phone. So I just made sure to cover this in my booking page here. And then where would you like me to meet you? Okay. Can I make this go away? Okay. And then I have them acknowledge my terms of service, which I do have, which I'm actually going to talk about tonight too. I have my terms of service that they have to acknowledge that they have read and they agree to. And then they can schedule an appointment with me. And that's it. Now, because this is my customer booking page, it automatically will send them an email saying your appointment has been received. This is how you should prepare for your appointment. If you have any questions, please reach out to Notary Bergeau, and then it has my phone number. So that's for my customers. I have a dedicated page for my business clients. So I'll show you that. Okay, now here I can see the details because it's my calendar. But if this was one of you guys looking on my page, my calendar will only say free and busy. Or no, I think it would just say free. I think it's just as busy. It'll say busy. So it has times blocked out so that people won't book me for anything else. Okay. So if you see Tuesday, I'm pretty busy on Tuesday. Okay. But they can book me for any other time slot. So if they want to book me at 4, they can because I'm busy from 2 to 3. And then again from 7 to 8. But at the bottom here, I have, please note, this calendar is for business clients only to book their customers for service. Now, when my business clients book their customers for service, they're not going to get an email notification saying how to prepare for the appointment because it's not for them. It's for their yes, for their customer. So I have to call their customer, but at least it's put on my calendar so I don't have to remember to do it when I get back because I've had it happen before where I was called. I answered the call while I was driving to an appointment. They asked me if I was available at this time. I stopped at a red light. I saw I was available and I said yes. And they said, okay. I called the customer, confirmed the time and date. And then when I left my appointment, I forgot to add them to my calendar. So the next day, I was an hour late for the appointment. Luckily, it was online and the person was flexible. But can you imagine how pissed that person would have been if they had this time blocked out for me and they didn't have any other time? The My client just so happened to message me and say, "Hey, how did the appointment go?" I'm like, "What appointment?" And they're like, "The appointment with our customer." Da, 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 da. And I'm like, "Honestly, I forgot about that appointment." They're like, "Well, we emailed you the documents and everything." I'm like, "I know. Let me call the customer right now to see if they're still available. And if not, I promise you I will get this done today. I'm so sorry." And they're like, "Okay, we understand." So called the customer. He was like, "Yeah, I was supposed to hear from you an hour ago." I apologized and told them, I forgot. I just told the truth. I forgot. I was busy that day, and I know I called you to confirm, but when I got done with my appointment, I forgot to add you to my calendar. If it's not on my calendar, what does that mean? It's not going to get done. So, luckily, they were free, and we jumped on and we did it at that time. So afterwards, that is when I created this option for my customer, for my client. I sent them the link. I said, whenever you guys have to book a customer and I'm out and about, I'm not going to be able to add it to my calendar. I'm probably going to forget. Go ahead and add yourself. And then when I get the opportunity, I'll approve it. And so this has worked out for them. We've had this going for maybe 3 months. So it hasn't been that long since I've done this, but it has worked out perfectly for them and they love it. And I love it because it's all I have to do is click approve and it goes right on my calendar and then that's it. So here, all they have to do is enter in their name and their email address so that I know what business client is scheduling an appointment with me. And then they'll put the reason. And then when it saves on my calendar, it saves like this. You see where it says Ron Sale, it will save like that. Now, these mobile appointments, I put those in myself. But when my clients book me, they book just Ron Sale, Ron Purchase, Ron Quick Claim Deed, anything, whatever it is for, they'll put that and then they'll email me the details of the order after the fact. So this works out really well. And you can do this, like I said, with Google. Okay. And for those of you who don't know how to do that, you can either go on YouTube and type in the search Google Calendar Booking, I think is what it's called, or you can take the free course on my website. I think it's called Small Business Essentials or something like that. How to start a business, something like that. But yeah, so I want to share that with you guys. Anybody have any questions about having this booking option for your customers? This way you're not missing money. Okay. Next, I wanted to share with you guys automated text. Okay. So on your cell phones, when you are getting a phone call, you have the option to send them to voicemail or send them a text. All right. And I do believe that this is available on Android and iPhone. Am I right or wrong? Now I'm going to go to, so I'm going to settings on my phone. And where do you, we did an update and things are not where they usually are. I think you go to phone if you have an iPhone, guys, and you go to respond with text. All right. So with my respond with text, let me see if I can zoom in. You can see this. I have 3 different messages that I can send. Okay. Now, one of my messages says, sorry, but I'm currently closed. My business hours are da 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 da. Please call me during the time that I'm open or whatever. My second one says, sorry, I'm unable to answer your call at the moment. Um, let me see. How do I go back this way? Um, okay. Please let me know how I can help you by sending me a text message. I do my best to provide the information you need. Thank you for your understanding. And then my next one says, hello, I'm currently with a customer and will need to call you back. Thank you. So having these different options here. So I can respond by text and not absolutely just miss the call. They'll be able to know, okay, she's going to call me back. And I usually will give them a call back after I'm done with my customer, or they'll send me a text, like it says, and I can respond by text. You know, it's way easier to respond by text than take a phone call while I'm signing with my customer. Okay. Because as you guys all know, as soon as you answer the phone, it's not going to be a quick call. They're going to want to talk. They're thinking they're moving quick, but to them, they're like, well, since you answered the phone, you can talk. No, I cannot talk. I'm with a customer. So, yeah. Anybody have any questions about that? You got the respond by text so you don't miss calls. And then you have the calendar booking feature so that you can still get your appointments even when you're busy with customers. Okay. 2 options for you to have your business run efficiently. Okay. Because we all know it's just really difficult for us to try to do everything. You can't do everything all the time. You got to have some type of processes and systems in place. It just makes business run so much more smoothly. And it helps you to not be stressed, and overwhelmed. All right. Anybody have any questions about that? Y'all know I can just keep going, but I do want to make sure you guys don't have any questions about the calendar booking and the text respond by text message options when you get calls you can't answer. Okay, you were thinking of using Calendly. You were looking to Zoho. Yeah, I mean, Zoho is a really good option, but don't forget, you can use Google. Okay, you can use Google to do that. And mostly everybody has a Google. I'm going to share my screen real quick and show you that really quickly because I do want to move on to tracking payments because that was another thing I keep seeing. People are not tracking their payments, or they don't know how to do it. So I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to go to my business email for Google. So I don't use the business email, but I do have a Google account because I was using Google Voice for my business for a minute before I got my own dedicated phone line. All right, so if you go to your Google, you click on the profile that you're using, and you click these dots here that show Google Apps, and then you go to Google Calendar, which is right here. All you have to do is, and you have to do this on a desktop, you can't do it from a phone. Click the arrow where it says Create, and scroll down to Appointment Schedule. You can add the title for your booking page. You can put how long the appointments will be. I usually do an hour. You can do for this to repeat weekly, does not repeat or custom. You pick the days that you are available. You have your scheduling window. How far in advance do you want customers to be able to book you? I usually do, I think 4 hours. I need at least 4 hours for you to put, a new appointment, or two. I don't have it like that for my clients. I have it for my customers though. You can change your availability. You have your book appointment. Oh, let me move this out the way. Hold on. You have your book appointment settings here. Okay, so it'll tell you how many appointments you want people to make with you a day. And then the calendar. And then it also lists you customize, your booking page. How do you want the booking page to look? You can put a photo there. Um, you could put the location. You can put a description. The email form is the important part because this is how you collect information. So you want to click collect, their name, their email. You can add phone number. You can add a custom item. So this is where you can put other stuff. What am I notarizing? How many people are signing? How many witnesses? Do you need witnesses? Yes or no? Okay. And then click save, and then people will be able to book you and they would get that information. So I'm gonna click save. All right. Open a booking page. I didn't make it a title or nothing like that, but I click here and you see your form pops up. They will fill out all the information. They'll click book, and then it will show up on your calendar as an appointment. All you got to do is reach out and call them to confirm. Or you can save an email template that you will send out to your customers who book with you. Okay. So I'm going to delete this because I don't use Google for my bookings and I don't want it to block out any time. Okay. So let me stop sharing. You see how that was easy to do, good vibes only? And that's if you use Gmail. If you don't use Gmail, then obviously it wouldn't work out for you to do that. All right. Next, we're going to talk about tracking payments and saving documents. So I have an option for my customers to be able to send documents to me. Now, I know you're like, okay, well, I could just have them email it. I've had it happen on a few occasions where people tried to email me documents and they didn't put the right email, they missed a letter or so forth, and that is scary. Okay, you don't want your customers emailing their documents to the wrong place. So, because I didn't want that to happen, I created a way for them to upload a document to me. They have a link that goes to my work drive that is also through Zoho. And in this work drive is where all my customers' documents go when they need to send documents to me for my review. And I'll show you guys how that looks. I might as well just keep the share screen up because everything I'm talking about is literally on my website. Okay, so let's go. I didn't realize that was on Google for appointments. Thank you for that breakdown. You're welcome, good vibes only. A lot of people don't know. So, I like to share like, hey, there are several different free things that you can do. You don't have to pay for everything. I mean, I do like having everything all in one. But when I was starting out, I used all free stuff. Because if you're just starting your business, you don't have that much money to put towards it, not unless you do. You do have some people who do have the money, but I didn't. What was I talking about? Oh, so I'm going to go to my home page, and I have the option for people to be able to send me documents. All they have to do is click Upload Docs, and it will take them to a link for my work drive. They put in their name, email address, and phone so I know who the documents belong to. And then they'll upload the documents to me and click send, and there it is. I got the documents. I'll get notified that I received, oh crap, that I received a secure upload for my customer. Okay. And this is what helps me keep their documents in an organized, secure manner. Okay. So you want to have that. If you guys have Google, you could do the same thing with Google. Yes, good vibes. So you can do the same thing with Google. Okay. You can share a link with them to your Google Drive to add a file to it. All right. They can send the file just like that. Let me see what else. Tracking payments. Okay. So I created a spreadsheet that you guys who have access to the library can use, and it's for free. Well, the library isn't free, but you only pay for the library one time to access it, and then you have access to everything that I add to my library. So I think it is, okay, so I'm going to go to the Notary Education Group Library. I think it's in Business Forms. It's the Notary Ledger here. All right. So I created this for you guys to be able to use if you don't have a bookkeeping software that you're using right now. Okay. So for income here, you put in, so today's date is already populated over here. You put in the date of the appointment. All right. So I'll put 1/18/2025. All right. You can put the customer or client. Okay. And the invoice amount was $100. And the invoice number, you may have one, you may not have one. And it will say the invoice is due on the same day unless you select a term. So let's just say they're going to pay you out in 45 days. Now it's going to show that the invoice due date is March 4th. So if March 4th comes about and they haven't paid you, it's going to turn red. I know you see all these other reds. I couldn't figure out how to make that not do that. So you just have to, don't edit any of these columns. You don't edit these columns at all. All right, because it's automatically has formulas in it. So once you put the date, the sign-in service that owes you, the amount they owe you, the invoice or order number, you go over here, you pick the term, which is the amount of days that they said they'll pay you, and then when they do finally pay you, you put how much you received. Oops. You select how they paid you, which is most likely through a check or e-transfer. All right, and then what was the job type? Signings, right? And then here's your order number if you want to enter an order number. Okay. And so it keeps track of how much you made for that month. So for January, it's showing I made $200 because I did have another one in here somewhere. Yeah, I had another one up here somewhere. And also, when you scroll over here to profit and loss, it shows that you made $200 for the month of January. Okay, and it shows you your signings income, I'm sorry. And if you had any expenses, it'll populate here. So I have all of this here for you guys to be able to use. When you first access it, though, you don't want to start changing anything in here until you save the copy. So you want to make sure that you make a copy that you use on your own, and then you don't edit my copy. Okay? If you edit my copy and start changing stuff, then everybody's going to see it. All right? So I'm going to delete this. Okay, there. But how you keep track of it is even if you don't send an invoice, you still need to create an invoice. Okay, you need to create an invoice because you want to keep track of when you did the signing and when it's due. So when you create the invoice with all the information, you put how long they said they were going to pay you. If that turns red, you know it's past due. You need to reach out to them. Okay, if it's green, if it's no color at all and it's green, you're good. But if it's red, then you know it's past due. Okay, and if you're using a bookkeeping software, it will do the same thing. So let me see. I'll open up Minds real quick. Let me go to Zoho 1. Using a bookkeeping software is just so much more easier for you to do because it allows you to print out reports too. Is there a way to generate an invoice number automatically? Yes, you could. Yep, you sure could. But you don't want to, well, no, you can do that. I was going to say you don't want to do that because what about the order number? But I do have a column in there for the order number. So yeah, you could actually. I could actually do that. Generate the invoice number automatically. I'm sure there's a formula where I could do that. So that's an idea for me to do. I will do that. So this is my Zoho one, and I have to go to my books, and then I can show you if you go here, go to invoice, and if I add a new invoice, okay, let's just put it, I think I can put myself, I think I have me here as a tester, yeah. All right, I put in the order number, the invoice number is generated automatically here, and then I have different items saved. So if I do a real estate signing online, I usually save the customer name, Gerald, I guess, or girls, whatever, and then I put the amount, and instead of due on receipt, I pick the day. They said they're going to pay me in 37 days. I click 37 days. And then when this due date comes about, it will show that I have a negative invoice. And that way I can call and, tell them about that. Hi, Ronnie. Welcome. All right. So I click save as draft, and then I'll just click mark as sent. That way the invoice has been generated and it stays within my system, but it doesn't have to get sent off. Now, some of them, they do want me to send off, so I could just save and I can send it off. But if I'm not sending it, then I just save it. But you want to make sure you save it, because let me tell you, I have one company that pays me for all my signings within a 15-day period. They just put all of them on there in one, because I would do multiple. So it doesn't make sense for them to, pay me individually. They just pay me in one lump sum check. And I get the printout from them and I go through each one, and they missed one. Now, if I wasn't keeping track, that would have just been money I wouldn't have been paid, because they missed it anyway, right? I recorded the invoice. So I showed them, hey, you missed one. They say, you're right. We'll put it on your next check. And I said, that's fine. So you want to keep track. If you don't keep track and then they miss it, then you don't get paid. And sometimes I do miss putting in an invoice and I'll get paid and I'll say, well, where does extra money come from? And I'm like, oh, I forgot to record this one. So please make sure that you're always recording every order that you do, because you want to make sure if they miss paying you for it, you want to be able to get that money. Okay. So bookkeeping software, or you can use my Excel spreadsheet if you have access to the library. Okay, super important. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel this. Nope. And I'm going to close this out. And we're back in my spreadsheet. Okay. Now invoice number. How do I do a auto number? I'm gonna Google it. I'm sure I can Google it. All right. So let's keep on going. Now, you guys also want to have a way for customers to leave you a review. Now, everyone should have a Google Business profile, but as of late, Google Business been tripping. They have been tripping. They've been suspending people pages, and that is a headache trying to get your page reinstated. So what I did is I, using Zoho One again, I created a way for people to be able to leave me a review and for me to be able to add it to my website. Okay. So I'm going to show you here testimonials. Right. So this is my testimonials page. This here, all these reviews you see are from my customers, and I'm using a widget. So the widget is embedded. You have, when you use these websites, they have different things that you can add to your website so that it's functional. Okay, so you can add a testimonial slide and all that good stuff. Okay, so I have here, connected to write a review, is a survey page. Okay, and Zoho has surveys, Zoho surveys. And so when they click here, it takes them to my survey page. They ask them for their name. So I'm just going to fill it out just so you guys can see. Right, and next. Date of service, appointment type. Excuse me. They can write their review. Great service. Thanks. All right. They can upload a picture. if they like, just in case I took a picture. Sometimes I take pictures with my customers. And then here it asks them to rate me. So all of mine are 5 stars. I'm thankful for that. And then they'll click submit. All right. And when it comes over to me, I'll get a notification. And let me see if I could take you guys to it so you can see what that looks like. I'll get a notification. I'm going to go back to Zoho 1. And when I get the notification for the review, I go into the widget here and I add their name, the rating they gave me, and what the review was. And that's it. And I publish it, and then it shows up here. Okay. I also have another widget that's on my home page right here. And when they click this, it shows my reviews on the side panel. Okay. What does testimonials do for your business? It lets other people know that others have used you and have trusted you to provide the services they're looking for, and it gives them the confidence to book you. All right. Customers love seeing reviews. And think about yourself. What I always tell people is when you are doing your website, put yourself in the customer's shoes. What would you like to see as a customer? And that's how you design your website. Okay. So my website is designed with me as a customer. So let me go back and I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. Let me look at my apps. And I love sharing my Zoho one with you guys because I've been with them since I believe 2018. It's either 2016 or 2018. I've been using them. I started out just using them for my business mail. And then it evolved into me purchasing their whole work suite, and I love it. I pay 40 something dollars a month, and I'm grandfathered in, so I think it costs a little more now, but I pay that a month and I have access to all of these different apps that you guys see here, and they all are essential to running my business. So anyway, let's go to survey. Okay, here's their survey app here. I can show you the survey I created. This is my survey. I've gotten 6 um, reviews on it so far. I know you're thinking like, okay, well, what are all the other reviews? The other reviews are from all of my other business pages. So every review I get everywhere, I add it to my website. That's Google, Notary Stars, Better Business Bureau, Trustpilot, Yelp, Bing. There's one more. There's one more. I can't think of it. But any review I get on all of my pages, I add it to my website. That way, you don't have to go everywhere to find my reviews. You just go on my website, you'll see the reviews that I have from all sources. So anyway, I'm going to go here, click these 6 responses. All right. And here. So when it shows, let me show you here. Appointment details. Here. I want to read the reviews they left for me. And so I'm able to see this here. Okay. And I'll just copy and paste them under their name that they gave me for their appointment. Okay. I can look at all their names here, their last name or whatever. But when I get the email shows me everything in one, so I don't have to go to this to look it up because it's kind of separated. Okay. So that's another way that I have my business running efficiently. Right. So let's pause there and let's go to my next topic. Um, Time management. We talked about time management. Now, I just so happen to use my Zoho calendar for everything because what I found is when I was trying to use separate calendars, it would let people book appointment, and I like maybe have a doctor's appointment, a dentist appointment. I may have to make an appointment for my kids school function. So and like if I'm going to a networking event, so I needed to still block out time on my business calendar for that, so people wouldn't book me when I am doing those other things. So like I told you before, for random people who are going to my website, it's not going to show them the details of my calendar like it showed me. And I think I can probably show you that if I open up a um, incognito window. Here we go. Open up an incognito window so you can see what I'm talking about. You can put for your calendar to either display the details for your appointments to your customers, or you can have it only display whether you're free or busy. And I recommend you only have it share whether you're free or busy. You don't want people to know what your appointments are for. Okay. Like I had a nail appointment. I don't need them to see it's blocked out because I got a nail appointment. You know what I mean? So go here, and I think you'll be able to see it. Or is it still going to show that I'm looking at? Oh, nope, there we are. Okay, so you see, it just says busy. It says I'm busy during these times. It doesn't give them any of the appointment details like what you saw before when I was looking at my own website. Okay, and this is how it would show for your customers when they're trying to book you as well on your calendars. It's just show busy. And anywhere where it's not busy means I'm free. Okay, and then for Saturdays, I'm closed. So it says busy for the whole day at the very top. It doesn't say anything else but busy. And that's all they need to see is that I'm busy. So you want to use your calendar really for everything. All right, let's see. Good vibes only. I really like the Zoho suite, everything in one place. Yes, absolutely. And I can share with you a link so that I can get a little referral, for you signing up with them if you decide to. Let me find it. Here it is. Where is the link? Here's the link here. Because it will ask you when you're setting up your calendar. It asks me if I want to show the details for my appointments or do I want to just show free busy. And I only want to show free busy on my calendar. The reason why you can see the details before when I showed you is because it shows me at my IP address and it knows that this IP address is the account owner. But when I go into incognito window, you can see I can be I'm signed in as if I was an actual customer, and you guys aren't going to be able to see the details like I can see the details of my appointments. Excuse me. And I'll show you what I mean. Let me go to share my screen again. And I'll show you how that works for Zoho Mail. For Google, I'm not sure. I'm sure there's a way that you can do that too. You just check a little box, but I'll show you. You're welcome. I'll show you how it looks on my end. So when I go to calendar here and I click into go to my Notary calendar, I go to calendar view, or no, what is it? My calendars, shared calendars maybe? No, synchronize. Let me find where it's at first off. Let me move this out the way. My calendar. Oh, here it is. Okay. So here, I give public access to my calendar. So it says share calendar with any people. And how do I want any people to view my calendar? I either want them to view the event details or only free or busy. I want them to only view that I'm free or busy. So that's how I get it to say free or busy. I select the option for it to do that under public access in my calendar setting. Because I don't need people knowing what I'm doing. All they need to know is I'm available or not. And you are very welcome. All right, let's go to the next topic. Anybody have any questions about that? No questions? All right. Another way to streamline your process. Now, there are times where you'll be out doing, appointments and you may forget some of the things that you got to do. All right. I recommend having a checklist. And the National Notary Association, they have a checklist for signing agents, like when you're out doing signings, but you also want to make sure that you just have a checklist for general as well. It doesn't just have to be for signings, because if you are not just doing closings and you're doing general work like I do, you still want to be able to make sure that everything checks off and that you're not making any omissions or errors. So for me, It is making sure that the notary block, all right, that notary language is there, and making sure that it has all of the required elements that are required for Florida notaries. Okay. So my statute, they do a really good job of outlining what is required in each notary block or certificate so that I don't forget. So sometimes I can forget. Okay, I know it by heart now, but I still keep a index card to remind me of exactly what elements I need to have in that certificate or notary block. And if you are having to add notary certificates, make sure you got copies in your bag. Keep copies of jurats. Keep copies of acknowledgments. All right. Make sure that you know how to explain each of them to your customers in layman terms. All right. We don't want to get all up into the legal terminology of each one because you're just going to confuse them. They're going to be like, I don't care. So you want to make sure that you know the difference between the acknowledgement and jurat, explain it to your customer, and have them choose it. And this is only if the document is missing it. Remember, if the document is missing the notary certificate or a language or a verbiage or block, whatever you want to call it, we cannot choose. Even if we do know which one they need to do, we still can't choose. We have to explain the differences between the two to the customer or the signer and have the signer choose. If the signer doesn't feel comfortable choosing, they can call the receiving party and ask them if they, prefer one or the other. But you just have to let them know it doesn't really matter which one you choose. It's just that you do have to choose one because I can't notarize your document without it. Your document cannot be signed and stamped by me without having the notary language on there. And when they know that, they're like, okay, well, just give me an acknowledgement. Okay. And you attach the acknowledgement, you proceed on to do what you got to do. All right. So please make sure that we are keeping those extra certificates on hand. And if you have a stamp like I do, it makes it that much easier. I have my notary stamp here. Okay. So if I have enough room on the document, I can stamp it, fill it out, and keep it moving. Okay. I have three stamps for certificate. I have copy certification because that is a type of notarization we can do in Florida. Now I have the acknowledgement and I have the jurat. So three. And then I also keep copies of credible witness certificates because in Florida, we can use credible witness as a form of identification for signers who are not able to get a valid ID document. Another one I keep hearing about is people asking signers for deposits for their appointment. I've never done that before. I can see why you would do it, but so I'll explain to you guys this one appointment I had. I had a mobile notary appointment, and it was for evening time. A girl needed to get a document notarized for her partner who was in jail. It was a power of attorney, and the mother had to sign the document with the girl, I think. So I arrived to the mother's home, and the girl meets me there. And the mother is like, I don't know what this is. I'm not signing. Right. So I'm there, and a signing is not about to happen. Okay. So the girl, she apologizes for having me come out there for nothing. And she was like, what do I owe you? And I said, you owe me a travel fee. And so we did the transaction. And I have different ways that my customers can pay. This is another way that you keep your business processes efficient. So we shouldn't only be taking cash. All right, guys. I don't know about you, but I don't carry cash. So if you only take cash, I can't work with you. I just can't because I don't carry cash. All right. And I don't like to take cash from my customers for security purposes. All right. It is not safe for you to be walking around with cash anyway, not this day and age. To each his own. I won't tell you how to run your business, but I prefer not to carry cash because I don't want to be held up. All right. I have a big fear of that, and I don't want to do it. So you're not gonna catch me with cash. So if you're trying to hold me up, you're not getting no cash. And if you get my cards, I can cancel those immediately. So good luck. So anyway, um, I use Zoho books, as you guys saw, And with Zoho Books, it allows me to generate an invoice, which I already have my invoice generated for my customer before I come. The only thing I have to do is click save and send when I get there. I save it in draft mode. So I send the invoice to their email, and they could pay right from their email. Now, let's just say they're having a problem getting into their email, right? No problem. I also have um, Apple Pay that goes right to my business phone, that goes right to my business checking account. I also have Zelle, which goes right to my business checking account. I also have Tap to Pay using Stripe. Stripe is a payment processor just like PayPal and Square. And with Stripe, I have a Tap to Pay. I also saw, I think it happened last month, where Apple Pay now has a Tap to Pay option as well. So you can do Tap to Pay right from your phone. All right. So if you got a person who they claiming they can't get into their account, they don't have no cash on them, that's okay. We can do Tap to Pay, because a lot of people do. I don't do Cash App. I don't recommend you use Cash App. I think Cash App also though has a business feature, but I don't use Cash App for nothing because no, I'm just not. PayPal, they don't even have to enter in their card information if they use PayPal. All they got to do is select the card from their profile, and they can pay me right from PayPal. So I have several ways my customers can pay me. All right. I've never had a customer pay me a deposit because I've never had a person stiff me for service. I've had a client forget to pay me, and they just paid me from last year. But that was a different scenario. But I've never had a mobile appointment to where I went and the person couldn't pay me. All right. Because, first of all, I don't provide services until you pay me. So if I get to the appointment and I review the documents, which I'm always going to do, I got to review the documents before I pull any of my stuff out because what if I get there and I can't do it? You know? So I don't want to have you pay a deposit and then now I got to get you your money back. And everybody know, once you it they'll take the money out quicker than they'll give it back. All right. And I don't want people calling me, I don't see the money back in my account. Da, da, da. I'm not going through that. I'm not. So you pay me when I get there. I review the documents to see what I got to do. I'm looking this over. Okay, we got 4 notarizations, and my travel is 20, so it's going to be 65. You want to pay with cash or card? They'll say, I'll pay with card. All right. I'm going to send you the invoice to your email right now. Go ahead and open it up. And then you have some different ways that you can choose to pay there. They'll sit there, they'll do it. I'll get a notification on my phone. You've been paid. I'm like, all right, thank you so much. All right, so go ahead and sign here, sign here. I sign here, sign here. Because once you stamp the document and sign it, you can't take that back. So if you don't provide the services and now they can't pay you, now what you gonna do? I would rather get there, review the documents, tell them what the fee is gonna be. They can't pay me, I'm leaving. All right, well, unfortunately, I won't be able to notarize that for you today. And I know you're like, well, what about your travel? I'll be willing to take a loss on that, honestly. But for mobile notary, I don't travel that far anyway. I don't travel that far and no, I'm not going to get paid. So that's never happened to me. And I've been doing this for a little over 4 years, 4.5 actually, right? What's July to January? That's half a year, right? Yeah, it is. It'll be 5 years in July. So yeah, 4.5 years. I've never had that happen to where I don't get paid because I got everything so streamlined. All my processes are in place so that that doesn't happen to me. All right. So have different ways for your customers to pay you. Okay. My clients, they can pay me check and e-transfer. I don't take checks from customers. I don't really know. The only customers that I know to even ask me to give a check are my seniors. A senior, I probably would take a check from them, honestly, because seniors are good for it. Like I said, but I've never had a problem with getting paid for any of my services. Have you guys ever had a problem getting paid for notary services? Let me know in the comments. I need some more water. I do this to myself every time. I know I'm gonna get on here with you guys. I know I'm gonna be talking, and I don't have enough water. All right. What's another one? All right, perfect. Thank you, Denise, for responding. What is another one? Okay, so yeah, you want to make sure that you're not just keeping track of your income. You want to make sure that you are keeping track of your expenses, guys. Oh, Ronnie does have a question. What you got for me, Ronnie? You got to keep track of your expenses because you want to be able to generate that number at the end of the year. Like tax season is amongst us. So when I get ready to file my taxes, all I got to do is go to my Zoho books and print out the report that they need, and it has all of my numbers there. How much I made, how much I spent on expenses, how much I paid in taxes, and so forth. Has everything there so that all they got to do is transfer my numbers to whatever forms they got to fill out for me as a business owner. So please make sure that you have some type of system for that. My um, ledger that I have, it does have a profit and loss, as you guys already saw. That's the report that you would give to your tax preparer at the end of the year. So make sure if you're using my spreadsheet that you're putting everything on there. All right. I also have in my library a mileage tracker. So you can print out your mileage tracker. I also have on there, oh, good vibes only. Thank you. I don't feel like getting up though, girl. It's okay. Um, I also have a notary stamp tracker in the library. So make sure that you are putting all your stamps on there because you can total that out, print it out, take all those reports with you. You know, I try to make things as easy as I think I would like for them to be because even though I'm not using a spreadsheet, I know that some of you guys are. So I try to make sure that that spreadsheet offers you everything that you would get from a software that you would be using, like what I'm using. Ronnie, are you typing out your question for me? I know it may be a lag that happens to me when I'm online. Let's see. What else? Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, one more thing. Emails. Oh, let's see, Ronnie. I've not received payment from a customer before, so I'm very particular providing service to someone who I've not worked with before. Okay. Yeah, I have heard that happen. I have heard that happen before, and you just want to make sure that you have some type of process. So, since that happened, what changes have you implemented to make sure that that never happens again? And it can't just be working with somebody you never worked with before, because we're in the business to get new clientele all the time. So, we don't want to just not work with new people. We just want to make sure that whatever processes we have in place, make sure that we fine tune them so that that don't happen again. So tell me, how did that happen to you, and then what changes did you make so that it doesn't happen again? Oh yes. So going back to your emails, you have to make sure that you are timely responding to all emails that you receive. Okay, because sometimes your customers will email you too instead of call you. For my email, I have notification alerts. All right. And so all day my phone will be making noise all day. And I know that it means that I got an incoming email. Now, before, I used to only have notification alerts for the emails I received saying I got a check. But now I have it to where whenever I get a new email, I need to be notified because just as important as those you got to check emails are, customer emails are important too. Client emails. Sometimes I'll be at a signing and a client is trying to reach me and they'll email me. I don't know why they will email me. Like, just call me while I'm at the table, but they'll email me. And if I don't see that email and I'm about to leave, that sucks. So I was at a closing one time and I got email an updated HUD, which is a settlement statement. And so I saw it come through because I have an Apple Watch. So I saw my Apple Watch, I felt it vibrate. I looked at it and I saw it was an email from the title company. I'm like, hold on just a second. They're emailing me about you. So I paused and I go to my email on my phone and I see, please print out updated HUD for signer to sign. And so the signing service, they were calling me as I was leaving. They're like, hey, we were just calling to see if you had got the email that there was an updated HUD, and were you able to get the signer to sign it? Are you able to print it? Do you have to go somewhere? And I'm like, I already took care of it. They're like, oh, how'd you do it? And I said, well, what I do is I go to my trunk because I have a printer, and I print out the document and I took it in there and I had them sign it. And they're like, "Oh my God, we didn't know. We're gonna make sure we put that you got the um, printer, mobile printer, and your preferred, and whatever." But yeah, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to your emails. So if you are one of those people who have the email and you don't have it making noise, you need to turn on your notification alerts. You don't want to just get notified, because what if you're sitting there and you got all these notifications coming through on your phone, but you can't hear it and you don't see it until later? So you don't just want a notification to come up, you want an alert. So go to your email settings and make sure that you have it set for all emails to alert you when they come in. All right, Ronnie says, instead of asking for payment at the end, I require a full payment before we start the process. Bingo. That's exactly what I just said. I need you to pay me before I put a stamp on the paper. Because once you stamp the paper and sign it, you can't take that back. So have them, after you review and see what needs to be done, obviously, then you go ahead and have them pay. Easy peasy. And then that way, if they tell you something wrong with their card, or they don't have the money in this account, they don't think they're going to be able to do it, they pay you later? Nah, not going to work. What you can do is you can go back on my website. You can schedule an appointment for another day, and I'll come back. And that's it. So good job, Ronnie. That's exactly how I would do it. How I do it anyway. So yeah, guys, make sure you are turning on those notification alerts on your emails. We don't want to miss no emails. We don't want to miss no text messages or phone calls. Y'all understand that? I showed you guys how to make sure that you have the respond by text when you're getting a call and you're busy, so you can respond right away. Because at least this way, they know that you're in business, you're open, but you're busy. All right. Because I have customers that call me all the time. I called 3 other notaries before I got to you. You're the only one that answered the phone. That actually happens. You have notaries listed for business. They didn't answer the phone. I couldn't answer the phone because I was busy. Well, did you shoot them a text? At least if you text them, they will wait for you to call back instead of calling another notary. Okay? You want to be able to respond to them in some way. They email you, make sure you respond right away. All right? You can save templates for emails, save those auto respond texts. Um, make sure you have your alerts on. Okay? I had one notary that responded in the group, said that they had got a check, but they didn't know it was the alert was emailed to them until like a month later. Why are we missing emails? You shouldn't be missing emails at all, you know? So set an alert. Set alerts. You can either set alerts just for, your clients if you have their emails, and you probably won't have your customer email until you actually service them. So for me, I just have alerts for everything. Okay. Now I got 2 more points and then I'm done. All right. So e-journals. All right. If you guys are using your electronic journals, make sure that you are inputting all the information that you would on a paper journal. All right. Especially notes. All right, in your notes section, please make sure you're doing that. For those of you who prefer paper journal, I just released 2 journals. They're updated and ready to go. They're on Amazon. I think one, I had to change the details on it, so it put it back into review mode, so it probably won't go live till tomorrow. But I do have one of my journals already published on Amazon, and it's on my page under shop if you go to the notaryeducationgrp.com. All right, we have a question here. How is Google Voice for you? I liked Google Voice. Um, at one time, though, I wasn't receiving calls. And when you get a missed call, it will email you saying you missed a call. And I didn't like that. I think it was just because I was maybe in an area where I wasn't getting good reception or whatever. And it happened to me more than once, and I just stopped using it. But I used Google Voice for years before I decided to get a dedicated phone and line for my business. So Google Voice worked just fine for me. It just towards the, I think, 3 year mark, it just started doing things that I was like, what the heck is going on? And so I just decided to go ahead and get a dedicated phone in line. But it worked just fine. Let's see. Yeah, for your electronic journals. All right. Make sure you're inputting all the information that you would on a paper journal, guys. Okay. And when you're using your paper journal, make sure that you're filling it out completely. And we want to fill our journals out in the signer's presence. We want to make sure that we are signing and sealing documents in the signer's presence. All right. This is very important. What you can do to make the appointment go quicker, which I like to do this, you can pre-fill out your certificates on the documents, but you cannot sign them or seal them until you are with your signer. And what we shouldn't be doing, which I hear some notaries do, they will fill out their journal and sign and seal the documents when they leave. Why are you doing that? Who told you that was okay? I, that is beyond me. You should be doing everything in the signer's presence. Like I said, you can pre-fill out your certificates, but signing and sealing a document should happen in front of the signers. You filling out your journal should happen in front of the signers. Okay, guys? Please make sure that you are adhering to this best practice. We notarize documents in the signer's presence, period. Okay? What was the last one? Oh, document scanning apps. Now, when you're doing closings, they do not want you to use phone apps to scan documents. Now, if they're asking for you for a copy of the signer's ID, you can use that to scan the copy of the signer's ID. And the scanners that I would recommend is either Adobe Scan or Cam Scanner. Now, I pick Adobe Scan over Cam Scanner because Cam Scanner, it does that um, pre-printed at the bottom scan by Cam Scanner, and I don't like that. On Adobe Scan, it doesn't do that at all. It doesn't print anything at the bottom of your scans. Your scans look like you did it on an actual scanner. Now, if you're just doing one or two documents in, ID, that's fine. I do it for general notary. Like when I'm going to sign a quitclaim deed only or a power of attorney that's less than 5 pages, I will use my scanner app for that. I'm not about to pull out the big guns because you guys know I have my laptop and I do have a mobile scanner. It's about this big. And I'm not pulling that out for one page in a couple IDs. I will use my mobile app scanner for that. Okay. And it's really helpful because, especially for my seniors, they prefer for me to scan the document and email it to them because they're going to give it to whoever needs it, but they said they want to have a copy too, just in case. And I think that makes a lot of sense. So I will scan it with my app on my phone, email it to their email. Okay. All right. I think I am done. I will make this last point though. So this is about fees. Another reason why you want to keep track of your expenses and your income is because this will give you a idea of your fee schedule. Because when you know how much time you spend to do certain things, certain appointments, if you know how much the resources are that you are providing for those appointments, it makes it easier for you to set your fees based on that. Now, I don't set my fees based on how much paper I have to print because printing comes with the territory. Okay. And it really doesn't cost that much to print. I've done the breakdown. It's not that much to print at all. If you are buying your paper in bulk, which you should be, everybody should be making sure that they are keeping track of how much they spend on supplies. Okay. Your expenses should be 30% or less. All right. So when you go to get paper, you should not be buying paper one ream at a time. You know how much one ream of paper letter costs? It's like $8 to $11. That's crazy. I can get a box of 10 reams, and a ream is a pack of paper if you don't know. I can get a box of 10 for $45. And if you divide that by 10, how much is that a pack? $4.50. There's 500 sheets in that pack. Divide $4.50 by 500. You understand what I'm saying? For my toner, I pay $60 for, I think it was a pack of two. And for each toner, I can print 12,000 pages. So if I pay $60 for two toners, you break that down, that's $30 for a toner. I can print 12,000 pages on that toner. So divide 30 by 12,000. So you understand why I don't base my fees off of printing. It don't cost that much, okay? So stop letting people tell you, well, what about you got to print 400 pages? If you buy your paper in bulk, that's nothing. It costs me nothing to print 500 pages, okay? It costs me less than what I paid for it, all right? So with that being said, my fees are based off of time spent for travel and for appointment, all right? And so I did videos telling you how to look up how much a notary gets paid in your area. You want to break that down by 60 minutes. All right. So you can get how much it would cost a minute. Or if you go over, what I like to say is if my appointment extends or surpasses 15 minutes, I'm charging you the hourly rate. I think I have my hourly rate set at $40 right now, I believe. So any notary appointment, if it's not a closing, okay, my closings, I allot 30 minutes to an hour for that. Okay. It should not pass an hour ever. Okay. I can count on on one hand, how many times I had a closing extend past an hour. And it was because documents were not with the way they were supposed to be. We waiting for them to fix the documents so I can print them and so forth. But a general notary appointment, I'm out of there in 15 minutes. So if I gotta wait, because one time I did have to go to a location, it was at hospice, I believe, and their witnesses were late, like 30 minutes late. So I charged them my hourly rate plus my travel plus how much it cost to sign and notarize each document that I was there to notarize. And they were perfectly fine with it. And not only that, you want to make sure that your fees that you charge are listed somewhere for the public to see. Okay? I will tell you, because I'm one of those customers. I have customers who will go to my website and they will go on my notary fee page and they will call me to ask me how much my services are, even though they already know. Okay? Because people are not playing with y'all. You cannot just be charging whatever you want to charge based on what the day is. You need to know what your fees are, and they need to be where the public can see them. Okay? This is how a good business operates. I will say that. I do know you have some people, I'm not putting my fees, I'll tell them what it is. Okay, well, that's fine. But if you are a good business and you want to be a trusted business, you will have your fees so that the public can see them. I also have a terms of service, I have a privacy policy. All of that is on my website. And I'll share that with you guys. And then I think I'm done. I'm sorry. I keep saying one more thing, one more thing. But I had a lot to talk about today. So I hope you guys don't mind. Let me go here and scroll down to the bottom. I have a legal section here. All right, it has my privacy policy. I have a terms and conditions, and I have a return and exchange policy. Okay. Now the only, of course, oh wait, hold on. Thank you, Ronnie. And good vibes only, of course. You could do general notary full time. Will it be as lucrative as loan signing? I don't know. I will tell you, for general notary work, last year was neck and neck. I did like an equal amount of both as far as money generating goes. So yeah, the money potential is there, because don't forget, general notary also includes you doing estate planning, signings for attorneys and stuff like that. Quick claim deeds, where you're not really having to go through all of those documents for title and things like that. I do ladybird deeds, a lot of ladybird deeds. And so that's just a one page, two witness type thing. So absolutely. You can set your business up however you want full time. You have some people, they do general notary only and field inspections, and they do good with that. So, however you want to do it, you put your mind to it, you can do it. So my privacy policy is here, okay? And I try to make sure I keep it updated. This was free. I got it off of Privacy Policy Generator. You also, one thing I did was I went on ChatGPT and generated one of these. Let me see. Terms and conditions. No, I didn't do that. I used the generator for this too, I believe. Oh, here it is. Generated using terms and conditions generator. My return and exchange policy, I use Zoho Writer. And I just typed it out, and you can share the link. See? I typed it out and shared the link. And it's opening up under my account because, it knows my IP address. But for you guys, if you open it up, it will open up the way that you saw it open up. I just have a link. I just have this hyperlinked. Okay. So you definitely want to make sure that you have that, because like I said, if your customer is anything like me, I'm looking through all of it. Okay. Because what if, services weren't rendered? And you talk about you're not going to get my money back. I need to see somewhere on your website that you don't give money back if XYZ. And if you don't have that, you have a certain amount of time before you got to give my money back before legal action is started. All right. And a lot of people know their rights and know that they can do that. So you want to make sure you cover yourself, CYA. All right. Cover yourself and make sure that you have these things. All right. So this is how, or this is what I mean by making sure that your business is efficient. So with all of the information that I shared, do you guys understand what I mean by that? Making sure that our business is running efficiently, make sure we have processes. Thank you, good vibes only. I definitely have to be, because like I said, Tuesday, you saw Tuesday, I got 5 appointments. I have to make sure I'm organized or I will be crazy. I'll be running around crazy. All right. All right. Thank you, Ronnie. And thank you, Denise. All right, guys. So I promise I'm done now. I am done. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight and listening to me share all of that information. Remember, if you ever find the information I'm sharing with you guys helpful, please share it. Okay, please share it, because I want to help all notaries, not just my notaries here in Florida. I am a Florida notary, so there are some restrictions there, but I want to make sure that I'm helping you guys in any way that I can, because it's important that we all band together and do this the right way. I don't know if you guys saw, I shared on my page that you're welcome, Denise, there are currently 4.4 million or it might be billion. Did I say million or billion on there? Notaries in the USA. And it said on there 20 to 25% of documents that are notarized have errors or missing information. So we need to make sure that we are doing our due diligence to educate ourselves on how to properly execute documents, because customers come to us and they trust that we know what we're doing, and we have to know what we're doing. All right, I'll tell you this one more story that I'm going to get off of here. Oh wait, hold on. Good vibes only. Oh, can you do a video on how to balance work, family, and business? I did do one. So you just have to go to my YouTube channel and click in the search and type it in. I think it was work-life balance. I think is what the video was called. You're welcome. Good vibes only. And Michael, thank you as usual for all the great information. You are very welcome. So I'm gonna tell you guys a story that I'm gonna go. Um, oh man, I forgot. Dang it, I forgot. What was I gonna share with you? Oh, I had a couple who came to me. They came to my office to get loan modification documents done, and this was their third time getting them notarized. They went to UPS twice, and twice UPS messed up the documents. All right. So they came to me the third time, and I notarized those documents, and they got what they needed to get done. And if you're not familiar with how a loan modification works, is usually when a person has been delinquent on their mortgage payments for I think 3 months, and they take out a loan modification to get back on track. So it's a second, loan on their home. So that's very important to get done correctly. So please make sure that you are not within that 20-25% getting these documents not done the correct way. Because we're notaries, we're supposed to know what we're doing. And the state, all the states, they do somewhat of a job of educating us on what needs to be done. I know the statutes are lengthy, but we have to take out our time to read them and memorize the important points that we need to know as notaries. All right, guys. So I'm going to go. Peace out. See y'all again next Sunday. Have a wonderful week ahead. All right. Bye, everybody.